Indeed. And greetings upon you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you so much for joining me here again, for finding yourself in this moment of serious non seriousness. Oh, look who it is, the beloved Aiden, Shannon, and Alexandre. Before I'm even in the space, you friends are already holding it to me. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me here again today, for choosing to find yourself here. There is only purpose. Okay, I think I started reading it wrong. There is only one purpose for all dimensions of creation. It is to be the expression of love. All dimension. All dimensions. You see? Oh, even the dimension of ego, even the dimension of seriousness, even the dimension of attachment is there to be the expression of love. There is nothing that you can wait for that will bring you the love that is already inside of you, friend. There is nothing that you can wait for. It will bring you the love that is already inside of you. Oh, I need to hear that one once more time. There is nothing that you can wait for that will bring you all the love that is already within inside of you. Melt, listen, dude, listen. Listen to these words, please. Please take them to heart. Thank you, friends, for joining me. It's so nice to have you in this space with me again. Like you see, I had an interesting day. Let's call it an interesting day. And it just reminded me again of how much I can mess with myself if I hold on to this sense of seriousness, you know? Things are so and such and such. You know, like I'm an imaginative person, you know, and when I get into a certain state, let's call it an egoic state, I really enjoy planning, you know, I enjoy imagining what could be. I like to see a sense of seriousness within the possibility that could be, right? But unfortunately, that seriousness in turn becomes attached to our ego. You know, we have this understanding, we have this feeling, maybe is a better way to say it, that if things aren't in the way that we've imagined them to be, or if they turn out in a way that isn't the way that we wanted them to, then suddenly it's devastating, you know? And it's mildly embarrassing, but I'll share with you, friends. You know, there are these moments where we start to talk to someone and we start to form these ideas, you know, we create this seriousness around the interaction, the exchange between two people, and you start to imagine, you know, you're like, oh, maybe this could be, maybe if so and so happens then such and such. And you know, like I was doing that, I was legit doing that. Unfortunately, I got to stop myself. Like I'll share a little bit of the context around this whole situation as well, because it happened so precariously. You know, it was like this I was like building myself up to knock myself down type of situation. And if I don't allow myself to see it outside of that seriousness, it will just be, you know, a complete mess. So I've been doing this yoga teacher training, and it's been beautiful. It's been like genuinely life changing. Like the stuff we're learning, a lot of it I already know, but hearing it transmitted, you know, from an external environment instead of just me being the one generating it, if you will, is always reaffirming. That is one part. And a part of this, we do all of these, you know, yoga sequences. And 2 days ago, we did a, a yin yoga flow, or yin yoga sequence, you know, and it's basically you're holding these poses. So you get yourself into a stretch, and then you hold onto that stretch for a prolonged time. And what happens as a result is, because you put yourself into this moment of tension and you feel this tension and you have to hold on to, or technically let go of this tension, all of the other parts of your life that might have been tense, you know, and you held on to them, or you were required to let go of them, again come up in yourself. And I was like holding these poses, and I was just like feeling this dread, you know, like I'm getting emotional just thinking about it again. I I was feeling this dread about the world, about, myself, about, what love means to me, about what I think I deserve in life. And all of these Hermes Plur, all of these belief systems, came up where I convinced myself that I'm not worthy of love, that I am not worthy of love, that the reason I have been without, relationship is because I'm not worthy of it, and I genuinely felt like I could move past that belief, that feeling, that understanding. And it was coinciding rather with this exchange between me and a beloved friend. And there was like a beautiful transmission between us, and an appreciation for life in a way that I feel I appreciate life, like the arbitrary things. Like literally, we were sharing love with one another around the topic of snails. Snails, yes, snails. And there was like a genuine fascination and exchange of excitement around snails, and I was like, goodness, this feels beautiful, this feels right. And then there was a there was a realization. There was a moment where, I think her microphone is on or something. And like we had a conversation about her being single and about her grandma buying her a shirt of, that says, I need more cats, and then her joking about her grandma making sure she stays single. And then, this masculine voice comes over her side of the internet, and I was like instantly in my head. I was like instantly so freaking attached to this story, to this feeling of not being worthy of love again, to this feeling of not knowing, anything, not understanding who I'm supposed to be or what I'm supposed to be in this situation. And I noticed that I created this attachment. I created this seriousness around an exchange, like even though there were no expectations between us, like they wasn't even the start of a possible expectation, right? Like it was completely the dogs are just like absolutely like, let me show you what's happening so you can see what's so I'm so distracted. Freaking silly girls. Yeah. So like my mind is like, oh, try the words. Anyway, so I was like going through this whole trip. I was like legit tripping the fuck out again. And I was like, okay, I see you're tripping out. How about you pay attention? You can either one, make something of this. You can like go out and then extend this feeling outward into the world. You can go and talk to this person about it, and then in doing so, create even more separation, by like saying something. And that was like option one. Option two, you can pretend it doesn't bother you. You can force this stuff down. You can be like, oh, this doesn't matter. And the third one is actually letting it go, and like noticing that this is something that you've become attached to. This is something that your ego has told you a story about, and that ego created this sense of seriousness, like this is the way it's supposed to be, and if it isn't this way, then it's not right. And I noticed that I have to pick the third option. And we got to like share a little bit of a transmission as well during my yoga session today, that that decision, the last one, the letting go decision, the melting away of that stuff, is a constant one. It's not like okay, now I've let it go, now it's gone. No, unfortunately not. You have to keep letting it go. You have to keep like paying attention to the things that you've become attached to, and you have to let them melt away. As soon as you become attached, as soon as you expect, you collapse the entire infinite spectrum of possibilities into only one, right? Like in a relationship context, maybe you are in love with someone. So within this expectation, within this attachment, you being in love with this person, you create this beautiful image of you two being together, and it doesn't matter who you choose, you two being together. But as soon as you have this imagination, as soon as you create this expectation, you collapse all of the infinity, all the possible relationship you can have, all the possible adventures you can have, all the places that you might go. All of that gets melted away, and you only expect this one singular outcome. Why? Why? Why are we doing that? Why? Why do we do that to ourselves? Like we don't deserve that. We deserve so much more. And yet our ego can create this seriousness around these things that we think we want. It's so absurd. It's so absurd. And we keep doing it. We keep doing it. I was like, legit. I legit went and looked at myself in the mirror after like going through this whole, like the start of this trip. And I feel I allowed myself to really get over it. And I was like really forcing myself to not think about it last night as well. I'm like, you better not fucking go to sleep thinking about this shit. Better not think about it. Anyway, and I was like legit before I went to sleep, I was looking at myself in the mirror and I was like, bruh, why do you have to keep learning these lessons the hardest way possible? Why, dude? Doesn't it fucking suck learning the lesson this way exactly? And I was like, yeah, it kind of sucks. And yet, we learn those lessons that way. It's so cool. And like the fact that it's day 501, I feel like it's this new chapter, this new page. Like technically it's just the same day, but it's this new page is being turned. And I feel I'm I'm doing conscious work again. Like I'm being faced with these things of inside of myself that have been there, that are in us all, and instead of just kind of being a victim to them, I can really pay attention to them and try and heal them. I can try and form an understanding around my own worth. And again, like the thing we're saying today is there's no amount of time, there's no amount of, distance that you can travel, there's no amount of people that you can have in your life that is going to give you the love that you already have inside of you. It's it's already there. The thing that it is you're looking for is you. It is you. And then we find these people in our lives, that show us parts of ourselves. We see the beauty, we see the excitement that is in our souls, in someone else, and we fall in love with that part of them, right? We fall in love with the idea of them. We fall in love with ourselves on the most fundamental level, but they become an expression outside of ourselves. And because they're outside of ourselves, we have something to project onto, not realizing that we are the creator of that love on the most fundamental of levels. You're it, friend. You are that love. Whew, you are that love. I love you. I love you so much. Thank you for joining me. Thank you. Hey, Lane, my dude, it's cool having you here at the bay. I'm going to feel the love inside of me this morning and give myself a Thai massage. Alexandre, I'm guessing, you're gonna go to a Thai massage place in New York City. I don't know if it's gonna be affordable, but I hope you have an amazing time. Needed to hear this morning. Mariah, we're here with you, friend. Like this is us, our humanity, all of our collective BS. Like I think in today's society, we feel more separated than we ever have. We're more connected than we ever have been. We have more access to one another than we ever have. And yet we feel more alone than we ever have as well. And I feel us being able to do this, being able to show one another that you're not alone. We're all going through this stuff. We're all feeling these things. We all feel unworthy of love sometimes. And just noticing that you're not alone, friend. Thank you for loving yourself. I appreciate you being here with me. Mel, you deserve everything your heart desires. And not for nothing. We just had a full moon, which can make us a little crazy, but the blood moon we just had signifies a clean state, putting on an end to things that need to end and the beginning of what is next. You're so right, Shannon. I'm there with it. I'm completely there with it. I am actively growing, as all of we are, as all of us are, and I genuinely believe being able to share in this medium with one another, we're growing together. We can't help but grow together. So thank you, friend. Love you, Melt. I'm serious. I know you are, Uncle Becky. I know you are at the Bay. You're very serious, and I don't know if it always serves you. I think it serves you. It has served you a lot. I genuinely believe that, brother Brandon. And Uncle Becky is a beautiful being. If I hope you friends know Uncle Becky, you should know Uncle Becky by this point. Like he's such a beautiful being, but there is a seriousness, Uncle Becky, like a big seriousness, and that seriousness can really mess us up, dude. It can really mess us up. We create so much attachment. We create so much expectation around that seriousness, and melting that shit away is of utmost importance, I believe. Perfect words to read. So true. Love you, brother Ryan. Thank you so much, brother Bay. I love this guy. I love you, too sedated. I love you, dude. I can say that with all of the honesty in my heart because I know all that I am is the I that we are. You look like Heath Ledger. I mean, maybe Heath Ledger looks like me, dude. Like me and Heath Ledger both happen to be humans. Well, so that's like already a lot of synchronicity right there, dude. It's okay. Do I want to share this? It's a little bit one of those weird ones, that can be like, oh goodness, Melt is an insane person, maybe. But okay, so I was like meditating, and this was on my birthday, and man, this sounds so weird. This sounds so fucking weird. I don't even want to kind of say it, but I'll bear with me. Imagine it was a dream. So in this dream, I'm meditating, and I basically do some proper breath work, and I really notice just how powerful it is for me to hold my breath at the top of the inhale, and then to hold the exhale right at the bottom. And I could feel it. I could like viscerally feel what it was doing to my body. I could like feel this energetic exchange happening. And I was like getting deeper and deeper and deeper into that understanding of breath. And I was imagining to myself all other human beings who were willing to do conscious work and willing to pay enough attention to themselves and to their breath to be able to feel this as well. And I was like, I felt like I was tuning into this universal wisdom, And as I was like feeling into this, tuning into, I started seeing this being, that was like an archetypal type of unity consciousness being, let's say it that way. And he was like passing me a torch, but the torch looked like a joint, right? Like I was like, it was the energy of a torch, like the idea of what a torch is, to pass the torch, like that whole archetypal understanding. But he was passing me a joint to always relate to me, I was like I was feeling into that. And then, but as he was passing it to me, he wasn't passing it directly to me as a person, but he was passing it to me as consciousness. And then I saw me as consciousness reaching out with an arm that isn't mine. It was this weird kind of like, three-fingered, weird texture, like brown, blue, green type of like freckles and stuff, taking the joint. And then it was like a taking of the joint, like bringing it to the person, experiencing the torch, and then passing that torch again. And it happened like over and over and over again in this way where it created this slideshow of just arms. Like I couldn't see the rest of the being. I could only see the arm. And at first I was like, what the fuck am I looking at? Like that was the first thing I was like, the fuck am I looking at? And I was like seeing these different entities every single time, this completely absurd arm, and all of them, literally all of them in my mind, in my egoic mind, in my serious mind was weird. I was like thinking, huh, that is weird, I said to myself. And then I saw my human arm, a part of this sequence. And I felt myself, at least this version of myself, taking that joint. And I was like, oh yes, familiarity. This is normal, I say to myself. And then in that moment I clicked, hey oh, that's like there's infinite amounts of beings in the universe. There are infinite amounts of consciousnesses that have experienced an infinite amount of variation within biology. And you thinking all of these other entities are weird is just you being naive, you being serious within your current ego, not allowing yourself to notice that that is still you. All of those arms, all of those extensions of the universe is you. It's just you, you just don't happen to pay attention to it. You don't happen to notice. So yeah, friend, I do look like Heath Ledger. I probably look like you as well, especially in the context of like alien galactic species, like we all look alike, but we don't. We're all the same, but we're different. We're all one and singular and individualized. We're all loved. That's the only truth I know, friend. That's the only truth I know. Lisa, beloved friend, nice to have you here as well. Untitled. Howdy. Howdy to you, Untitled. Thank you for joining us. Mononoke, beloved friend. This guy is tripping. I wish. I do plan on tripping soonish. I mean, soon is a relative term. I want to trip soon again. I haven't taken a proper psychedelic experience in almost 3 months now. But I do look forward to my next one. Thank you. I'm happy that you think I am tripping. Like, I keep sharing this. Every single time someone assumes I am tripping when I'm not tripping, I have this sense of pride that kind of arises in me of like, oh yes, I can trip out without having to trip out. You too, Fred. You can too. For this space, this morning, I'm burning these incenses. The wizard, peace on earth, the dragon's blood, and pine. Enjoy. Are you gonna burn them all at the same time, Thoughtful, or are you gonna burn them as they finish burning? Do let us know, dude. And thank you for burning some incense, for creating that beautiful space inside of you. Control your pit bull. None of them are pit bulls. It's a Pippi Longstocking is a Jack Russell, and Eva is a Zolo or a Mexican hairless, and Yudi is like a corgi Jack Russell crossing. All of them are beautiful though. I just want to know Jesus is the way. Friend, you are the way. Water awake. Jesus was his way, like the whole understanding that gets shared in the Bible that the way to heaven is through Jesus, I believe is completely misconstrued by the Bible or by the current religious understanding that you need something outside of yourself in order to get to heaven. You need to live as that, as yourself, as the loving expression of God in this world if you want to get to this conceptualized reality that we think of as heaven. Who says you're not in heaven right now, friend? Who says you're not in heaven right now? All you have to do is live that way, and then you're there. And you're there, friend. You don't need anything outside of yourself. Sam, the sloth is the way. Thoughtful. Oh, so much love, Frankie. It's nice to have you here again with me. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. Been a while. Been a little bit. Good to see you, beautiful friend. Thank you. What do you think about Roe v. Wade? I believe that is the whole abortion thing right now. So, interesting question. And I don't necessarily like talking about politics because it's all, bullshit noise to separate us again. But, that being said, I think the reason they want to ban abortion and basically force people to have children, uh, technically against their will, and potentially against their well-being as well, is because they're literally shit scared of the population decline. Like we have a global population decline right now. The birth rate is lower than it's been in years, and it's dropping rapidly. Why? Because how the fuck am I supposed to have kids? I literally, I mean, I turned 24 2 days ago. I can't even imagine having kids. My parents were married when they were my age, and they were planning on having kids at my age. I do not have the financial abundance to do that. I do not have the career option to do that. Our country has a 56% unemployment rate for people under the age of 30. 56%. 50 Brain breaks for a second. 56% unemployment rate. Our global, or at least our country's total unemployment rate is 30%. One third of our country's population do not have work. And then we're supposed to have kids? Just excuse me? Like rent is absolutely unaffordable right now. Like food prices are increasing. How are we supposed to have children? How do you expect us to have children? And then at the same time, they're like, yeah, the problem is the people. Am I disconnected? No. It's the people that are the problem. We're changing, Fred. We're changing the world. Don't worry. It's going to get worse before it's going to get better, but it will get better. I promise. Heath Ledger is back. Back and kicking, dude. I got a kalimba after your beautiful stream the other day. Tater tot. Dude. Or dudette. That makes me excited. I have a good time. It's such a beautiful little instrument. It's so gentle. It's so welcoming. It really, really is forgiving as well. You can like play wrong notes and you'll still be okay. Have a good time, dude. Like get to know the little instrument. Enough ad. I feel love is true. That is my fundamental understanding. So if you want to ask me a question that is going to be polarizing, my answer is going to be love is true. Okay. Okay. Enough ad. Okay. Okay. You got a kalimba. I got high. There we go. I mean, both sides of the spectrum. It's completely okay. There's a giant bird in the tree. What kind of big bird is that? I mean, I'm guessing it's not in the tree anymore. But the giant birds we have is like hadidas. Those are pretty big. And then the second biggest bird would be quail, which is like a parrot type species. Thank you for asking, Maniki. Manacha? It's probably Maniki. It's a soother for an curious mind. Yep, that's it, Maiko. It's a way for people to give their power away, unfortunately. And people like giving their power away. People don't like thinking for themselves. It's a little bit exhausting, and you have to keep doing it. So they're like, nah, this whole thinking for myself thing fucking sucks. So I'm gonna rather not do that. Yay, puppies! Don't we all wish we were happy puppies sometimes? I wish I was a happy puppy all the time. 12. Like genuinely today again, like I was still tripping out during my meditation, like really kind of like stuck in my own head. And I could just watch Pippi. And the more like I was watching Pippi and I felt this sense of tension, the sense of egoic tension melting away. And then I was watching a bird, and this bird was just like watching me as well, and it was like lifting its tail oddly, and I was just feeling that. I was like, yeah, yeah, fuck yeah, bird. Yeah. Thank you for telling me, that I shouldn't be too serious. I should just flick my tail, jump from tree to tree, peck foods, sip some waters, just live my life. Did you see the big boy already? We believe love is true, Lisa. I couldn't agree more. Love what you're talking about. Doctor Strange, love you, friend. Thank you for being willing to listen. Like you're just another moment of proof that love is true. Like we come into this space to share things that we all understand. I don't believe that I know anything that you friends don't know. I'm just trying to pay attention to the things we all know. And by paying attention to them, by bringing them into our consciousness, we allow ourselves the activation of that fractal. And with the activation of that fractal, we get to see what that fractal is attached to in our current lives, in our current relationships, in our current, work environments, in our current friendships, however you want to attach, we can experience growth just by paying attention to these things. So thank you for paying attention. Gayana, you very much deserve and are worthy of matched love. Thank you so much, Gayana. I was seeing this like small little diamond, bigger little diamond, and then around it was almost like a white glow. And then the white glow went into like a bluish glow, and then the bluish glow went into like darkness. And then the darkness had a glow to itself as well. And then the darkness had like a rounding, and then there was like a white glow coming from behind the darkness as well. I'm sending love to you as well, Fred. Thank you so much. These struggles are divine. They're supposed to be there to teach us. You're completely right, friend. And I'm trying to learn. Like just rocky music playing in the background. Me running up the stairs of life, dude. Trying to learn as we can. Thank you for learning with me. Thank you for like teaching me as well about the day. Poopsie! Look who it is! It's Becky Poopsie himself. Love to you, dude. Thank you for joining us, Dad. I'm back in stream while I'm working, cause I'm working from home. There we go. Cause I'm working from home. There was a COVID outbreak in the office, and I put my foot down. Yeah, there we go, dude. Know your worth. Know your worth, Dan. I know you know your worth, and I know you knowing your worth will let others know that you know your worth. Will let them know that you are worth. You know? You know. Love you, Dan. Thank you for joining us, man. It's such a pleasure having you here always. I've missed you. Why are people trying to make this political? Shake my head. Because that's what people understand, Starbloke. They're like, what the fuck? I'm supposed to feel things? Political. how about this, socially charged topic? How about not? How about stop it? Stop. Stop it. Stop. Mm. Yoga means to yoke. No, it doesn't. When you join yourself with something after you empty your mind in complete submission, you don't know what you're joining yourself to. These ups and downs are demonic. Okay, water awake. Like you, water awake. I don't know if you're still here. I do hope you are. You are the one that creates evil out of things. If I say the number 666, to me, that number because of the attachment I have to it, means new beginnings. 666 means to me new beginnings, the opportunity for new beginnings. And if you have grown up in a Christian household and you've been told that the number 666 is the number of the beast, you can create a negative imagery within inside of yourself. When you hear those numbers, it's literally noise. It's literally me putting little pressure waves into the air, and that pressure waves hits my little freaking microphone, creating binary ones and zeros. And those binary ones and zeros get uploaded to the internet, gets downloaded to your phone, vibrates your speaker, those vibrations hit your ears, and then you create evil. You create the demonic, water awake. You are both the angel and the devil. And as soon as you're willing to acknowledge that fact, you are free. You are it, friend. Stop giving your power away. Good morning, kind friends and strangers. I hope the day has found you all well and your breath is easygoing. Uncle Becky, thank you, Brother Bear, for your loving transmission and for tagging the Patreon. Yes, we do have a Patreon. If you're willing, if you want to support this space, you can do it for as little as $1 and 11 cents. That's not too bad. And with that, you don't just support the space, but you also gain access to the daily works of art that I make. Thank you. Thank you for even considering it. How do we love authentically? We love authentically when we don't expect, friend. At least that's the way that I think about it, Doctor Strange. When we expect something, we again collapse all possibilities. If you share with someone, let's say you're excited about something, you're like working on something new, you're playing with a new hobby, and you're super excited about this. And it's something that you love. And then with love, you decide to share maybe with a significant other, maybe with a friend, and then you're like excitedly sharing with them this thing that you love, and then they're like, oh, boom, instantly. You create a sense of separation of inside of yourself because what the fuck? Why is this person not as excited as I am? Why this? Why that? Why so and so? Expectation. Like you created this expectation around you loving someone, around you sharing love with someone, and as soon as they didn't conform to the expectation you had, then suddenly that love becomes inauthentic. So sharing that love without expecting anything, even if the person is just like, oh, okay, that is them. That is their expression. And being able to love that, even if it's just a, oh, okay, that is how you love authentically. At least that's the way I've been trying to, friend. Love to you and everyone here from Iowa, USA. Love to you, friend. Thank you for doing the conscious work in Iowa, USA. Brother Wysick joining us as well. Even Diana. So much love to you, friend. Man, I think I've missed a few. Two cranes just flew past me as you finished your tale. It dropped me to tears. Whew. Mariah, we'll have that. I genuinely believe we'll have that. We just have to keep living our lives in the way that we want to. We have to keep living our lives into the truth that we know. And then in living into that truth, we'll find people who lives into that truth. And in finding people that lives into that truth, we'll find who we need to find. Right? But if we don't live into our truth, we'll find people who are also not living into their truths. And then we'll continue living not into truth together. So live into your truth, even if it means you have to do so alone, for an extended period of time. It is always going to be worth it. Hi, Isaac. So nice having you here. Sorry I missed 500 yesterday. Oh, like never. Never ever gonna forgive you, Isaac. Looks away. Not even gonna, not even, not even gonna look at you. Not yet. I'm joking. It's so okay, but the Bay, you're here now, man. Sorry I missed yesterday. Went back and watched though. So much love. I lost my Vietnam phone for the last half an hour. But we're here now. We're here now, dude. I had a 13 and a half hours. It's a long day yesterday. Didn't leave until 11:15 p.m. Oh, goodness. You're stronger than I am, dude. Thank you for like being willing to do that, man. Diana, again, so nice having you here, friend. The day before I had my first chiropractor appointment, got validation that my neck and right lower back are extremely in need of some help, and we're working on it. But man, she said I'd be really, really sore, and I think that the salon day made it twice as bad. I'm icing my back twice a day, melting. Please, brother Bear, take care of yourself. Like just breathe. breathe into that space as well. Like I've really started doing this myself as well, and it's helped more than I could have imagined. When you breathe, imagine your breath, or at least your prana, the energy that your breath gives you, flowing into that space. It helps me at least, dude. I know you probably do it already, but sending you even more love. I'm breathing into your lower back now. Imagining Isaac's lower back. Love you, dude. Oh, dag, Isaac. That's a long day. I'm so glad you're doing well. Relax. It does. Thank for the professionals. Thank you, dude. Thank you for taking care of yourself. I can't believe the wisdom that flows through this dude. I mean, what the fuck? How lucky are we that we get to share all of these experiences and observations? Again, brother Ryan, it's you, dude. It's you. Like I'm making noise. I'm making noise, and the noise that I'm making is flowing through my humanness. But if I wasn't a human, I would be making noises as something else. I'd be making noise as a bird. I'd be making noise as a dog. For making noise as the trees, as it grows, as it breaks rocks. You're the one eliciting meaning from that. You're the one eliciting the importance, the significance, and the fact that you can listen to me and do that instead of not. That is the thing that's really amazing. That's the thing that made me go, what the fuck? I love you, brother Ryan. Thank you for seeing me, friend. I see you too. God is love. Yes, he is, friend. And love is true. I love you, Water Awake. Mm, I definitely will. For goddamn days. Dude, 4 days! And a friend that has been joining us in this space is getting married. Like, actually getting married. Thank you, friends. I missed you all so much. We love you, dude. We always have like holding space for you, no matter where you are in the world. We love you. Know that this space is here for you, receiving you. I can't wait to hear how your day is gonna go, dude. How like these few days are gonna go for you as well as you're preparing to get married. Actually getting married. Goodness. Stream is being monitored, so don't fret. Unwanted comments will magically disappear. Melt away. Certainly, we are all connected. What separates us is our egos and our meat sacks. That it is, Twaffle. It's that seriousness within that as well. You know. Uh, No, I am me, Melt. The fuck are you talking about? I'm not. We're not the same. We're separate, Melt. You don't know me. Okay. You say so. Mammy, such a pleasure having you here with us. Thank you for joining us again, friend. It's such a pleasure having you here. Morning, Sparky Fan. The wedding day looks beautiful. High 88, low 74, very warm. It's going to be beautiful, dude. Man, it's a few days now. Are people starting to show up, Isaac, or is it going to be like a on the day type of thing? I'm kind of curious. To target an attack socially, institutionally, systematically. It's a movement to bring awareness to this and to fix it. You are right, Kayana. Like I feel even more important than just these understandings, because again, like it's more separation. It's just more separation. Every single time we create a pedestal for one part of humanity, and then we're like, oh, this is what needs to be fixed. We are inadvertently breaking the very thing it is we're trying to fix. We are not separate. We are the same being experiencing individuality. We are everything. And when you can see yourself as that oneness, when you can notice that you're not different to that puppy chewing on a bone right now, like it's consciousness as Pippi chewing on the bone, just like being like, I'm sick. This bone is so freaking delicious. As I'm sitting on this ground, feeling the textures below me, as I'm, flexing my head, shaking my little head, coming and sitting on a human being's lap. I am the experiencer, even as little Pippi. Like, and when we can realize that, when we can notice that experiencer is within every single one of us, within our little puppies, within our trees, within every single, imaginable skin color, that is when we're going to fix the problem. Not a day before. Circular rose garden. The fuck? Did I miss something? Yeah, I did. Ceremony outdoor. The most of the town friends will show up Wednesday, and some friends, my brother and Buzz, come back home as well. Yes, in a circular rose garden. Oh, that's gonna be crazily beautiful. We'll be starting under the large arc tunnel thing that is covered in wisteria. I don't know what that is. I'm guessing it's a plant. Sounds amazing though. Morning. This thread is out of context. Can you go somewhere else and debate? I feel that as well. Not maybe. Happy belated birthday. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate the love at the bear. He is not insane. He is an enlightened being. Melt is our bodhisattva. Possible feet. Seriousness within the mind. That is the creation of ego, Dwaffle. You know, my ego is like, no, I'm not. I'm just person. I appreciate you, Thwaffle. Thank you for seeing me, beloved friend. I see you as well. Hello to you, bloody legend. It's nice to have you here. Political matters of other subreddits. Yeah, there's like a whole like r/politics. If you want politics, you'll come. You can find a lot of it. Please read the Haywire Hill subs if your first time here. Thank you for contributing to the melty vibe. Thank you for doing the same, Mammy. Your little hand. Your little hand. You're talking about the whole trip I went through. Yeah, it was quite a surreal, Uncle Becky. I feel like if anybody understood what I was talking about, it would be you as well, right? Mm, I think so. The dance floor is outside too. It's a historic mansion. Ooh, so you get like old vibes as well. Like just imagine all of the consciousness, all of the love that has been shared in that space. Sounds amazing. It's going to be beautiful. That it is, Shannon. Thank you for sharing that love, friend. Life is political, my friend. Politics are just the issues around how we organize society, which is something everyone is invested in. That is also true. That is also true, Toast. But if we're sharing politics in a polarizing way, like when we claim that this is the way that it should be, and the other side is wrong, we're again inadvertently separating ourselves. And the whole point of this space is unity. Like uniting with one another and understanding that we are not separate. We're not as different as we can imagine we are. Thank you. It's a rush. Gonna stay sober enough to remember it. Please do. Like I think it will serve you exponentially, to do so. Like be as clear a channel as you can for this energy that's going to come into your life, dude. It's always going to be worthy and worth it. Thank you. Thank you, Brother Vay, for like knowing it without me having to say anything about it. I believe Melt is 25. 24. Dan. Almost though. Love you, brother. Love you, Toast. Thank you for sharing your love of me, man. That's right. Thank you, Dan. We are the universe. There we go, Yensel. Friend. Dear tequila gods, please grant Isaac strength. No, dude, please. No, no, please. No, dude. Like I would rather you all smoke joints at your wedding than drink tequila, man. But that is my egoic seriousness popping its head up. Fucking sit down, sit down. Hey Heather, question: do you think ego gets in the way of matters of the heart? What do we do when our heart and mind are not in harmony, possibly due to our ego? We breathe, Heather. That's what I had to do today. You just breathe. You're like, oh, I see. I see my mind is full of shit again. And okay. Breathes in, breathes out. Just watching my mind, shaking the cage. Fucking stupid monkey. That's the only thing that helps for me, Heather. Just breathing, friend. We're all different, but all of the pages look the same when you don't read the. Ooh, I like that. We are all different, friend. Like we're all these individual expressions of God, and we get to be these beautiful, like so complex, like infinitely complex expressions thereof. And when two people get to meet one another, there is a whole new infinity that gets formed. There's like one person, like there's the infinity of my side, and then there's the infinity of your side, and then there's a new infinity that gets formed when we connect with one another. And I do agree, like all the pages look the same if you don't read, if you don't pay enough attention. But we are paying enough attention, like at least we're trying to pay as much attention as we possibly can. I'm paying attention to you right now, Chapos. Love you, friend. Sunny now, rainy this morning. I got all my housework done. Supposed to be working now, but I love Melt so much. Oh, Mammy, thank you so much for being here with us instead of doing your chores. Like, fortunately, these streams, at least for the time that we're, doing busy with the yoga teacher training, they're only like an hour long, so it's not too much damage, to your day. Definitely, Heather, ego can ruin everything. It's the ego literally forms from attachment. On the most fundamental level, your ego forms because you become attached to things. You're like, oh, I like this, I like that. I do these things, I do those things, I don't like these things, I like these, I have this type of sexual orientation. So you have all of these little fractals of attachment inside of yourself, creating layers and layers and layers around your fundamental awareness that becomes your ego. So I don't feel ego in and of itself is the problem. I feel attachment is. It's the underlying cause of that ego in the first place. You deserve the break, sister. Thank you for the love. Ego definitely gets in the way of the heart. Still working on finding a good balance. The tender age of 43. Mammy, even me. And I don't think I'll ever really win. And I don't think we're supposed to. I think we're supposed to befriend instead of trying to defeat. Do you think ego is similar or the same as pride? I don't think so. I think it can be, again, with the seriousness, right? Like, it is seriousness within the mind that is the creation of ego. And you can interpret that two ways. One interpretation is that when you are serious, you create ego. And the second is when you identify with ego, you consider yourself serious, right? So that seriousness can come along with pride. But it's you generating it. Lots of love to Terpillis. Thank you for joining us. It's so nice to have you here. Gavity Goo joining us as well. Love to you. Thank you for joining us, man. The air that joined out and disinfected. Say to you, healthy energy. Like, interestingly enough, Heather, I wouldn't want to disinfect it. Like, it might be a little bit weird, but if an alien passed me a joint, part of me would want its microbiome. And that's probably a super bad idea. It might kill me instantaneously, but you know, some of you may die, but that is a sacrifice I'm willing to make. That's on my mind. Thank you. Thank you, there, Heather. Thank you. I shall write a note for you to my boss and say that certifies the note holder to entitlement to one melt stream during working hours for my health. Hopefully one day. Mammy, like, I've never in my life thought I would imagine that little fractal, but now I can. I can see it. Hopefully one day. Miss Mouse joining us as well. Thank you for sharing the space. Have an exciting and meaningful day. I will. You do the same, friend, please. Oh, toast with a juicy one. That is how you know we are one. My name is Toasty, but an infinite amount of the universe is my name, is also Heath Ledger, and an infinite amount of those universe, I am Heath Ledger, as we know him. The I is indistinguishable in the infinity. Yeah, Toast knows. Toast knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's true. It's true, dude. We are not separate. Like, sure, I was Heath Ledger at some point as well, and I was like, yeah, this shit sucks. Like, why is everybody so fucking full of these egoic stories of what success is supposed to be? And then I was like, nah, enough. And yet, here I am again. Clearly, it wasn't enough. Clearly, there was still yet more to do. I just couldn't do it then, but we can do it now. I do believe so. I'm sorry, Melt, but the abortion issue has nothing to do with population. In the US, the Republican Party has been on a steady decline in popularity since the 1960s. I'm not saying that's the way it is, Dan. That's just the way that I'm interpreting it. Is this, like, fear-based mentality? Like, that is technically what it, gets reduced down to. Like, people are scared. And one of the things they're scared of is the reduction in population. And then with that fear, this seems like an option. This seems like something that they could do. I'm not saying that's the way that it is. I don't know anything, dude. I mean, I don't even live in America. I don't even get to access those sides of the fractals. But the way that my mind generates an understanding around that whole topic isn't the population issue. The world is waking up and people are realizing that having four plus kids is not sustainable. Not to mention that they're waiting longer to have kids as well and to make sure they can support and care for their child. Exactly, Corey. It's a whole trip at the moment. We love you, Dan. That we do. in order to maintain power, they created a wedge issues in order to lock down portions of the electorate. Elector. No, my brain doesn't want to say that word. Elect electoral red electoral. No, I'm gonna give up. In the case of abortion, by the championing abortion bans, the GOP can rely on evangelical voters to show up for them. It's all about money and power. Yeah, that actually sounds right as well. That sounds right as well, dude. Like that makes perfect sense. You see, now me sharing an incorrect opinion has allowed Toast to share his opinion with me to create more understanding within me. So, me being willing to admit that I, in fact, don't know everything, like far from it, I get to get schooled. So, thank you, Toast, for schooling me, Brother Bear. That makes sense, especially with this, as you mentioned, these evangelical voters, like, oh yeah, this is the way it should be, and them being that way means that this is the people I should be voting for, etc., etc. You are 100% right on that, Mel. When I was 19, I had a son, a car, a job, my own place, and I paid only $350 of rent. Today, rent is at least $1,000 here, and that $350 is 2 weeks in groceries. Oh goodness, like what a blessing that was. Like as I was inhaling, almost like setting myself up to not get read like that little flower plant or flower tree just like gave me a whiff of its beautiful aroma, and it was so calming like in an instant. You're right, Heather, it's wild at the moment. Melt, belated birthday wishes to you. Great to be hearing from you today, although I couldn't join the stream lately. The experience here never seems to leave me, Naren, and it never will, Brother Bear. Like that is why I believe, and this is again me saying things without having to actually know them. I believe that I've taken on the role as an expression of the infinity, and then by extension, that infinity is here because of the truth of love. So I am expressing infinity by showing up every single day for that love. And even if you never come back again, it continues into infinity. It will never leave you. We have irreversibly changed one another, and now we can go out into the world and change other people as well. We love you, Naren. Thank you for joining us as well, dude. We've missed you. Today may suck, tomorrow will be worse, but the day after tomorrow is all sunshine. I love that, Uncle Becky. It's going to be okay. It is going to get worse. I'm sorry to say, friends. Like, it will get worse for a while, and then it's going to get exponentially better. All we have to do is keep showing up. All we have to do is keep choosing love. And I'm like, I'm not only saying this in a like, oh, woo woo, we have to choose love. Like it's a serious thing, right? It's the ego and seriousness. It's going to be a serious choice because if you choose fear as opposed to love, we're going to create fear as opposed to love. If you choose love as opposed to fear, we're going to create love as opposed to fear. So it's going to be very important for us to continue choosing love, regardless of the amount of bullshit we're seeing in our external realities. It's going to be very important, and you're going to play that role, friend. Thank you. Thank you, Uncle Becky, for playing that role. Mom wishes she was this cool. What do you think about Free Bassetti? I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, Hasbull. Hasbullah the king. Hasbullah. Thank you. Can you just take a moment to appreciate how effing cool the moon was last night? Yo. So, Eden, I wanted to share this with my friends in the yoga teacher training, but we were kind of like we had too much momentum for me to. But like we were doing this thing, we were being put into breakout rooms, and as I was put into a breakout room, my entire computer froze, and it like dropped my entire Zoom call, and then it dropped my Zoom call, and then it showed me the time, which was 11:55, and that day was like filled with fives, like it was day 500. um Lisa shared something with me about like me and my birthday being ruled by the number five. And then there was this beautiful transmission between me and Ryan and Rosie, his daughter. And she was so in tune. She said the number five, like I think 5 times or something. And then, like I got this 11:55 and I was like, well, I guess my Zoom is crashing, and while waiting for it to restart, I walked outside and the moon was smack dab in the middle of the sky, and I was like looking up at it, and it was like there was like these gentle kind of like wispy clouds in front of it, but it wasn't thick enough to actually obstruct any of the light. So it was just creating this warm glow, and I was like training my eyes on the moon, and I was spinning around, kind of like letting my eyes adjust, and it was like creating this jittery effect as I was like spinning around, and then I was spinning around the other direction, and then I went back to my class. It was gorgeous, so beautiful, Eden. Thank you for sharing that appreciation with me as well. So special to watch the moment with some of the most beautiful, beautiful people. Also beautiful people. No, you, Eden. Love to you, 665, a neighbor of the beast. Northern Lolo. Love to you, friend. We've missed you. Thank you for joining us. How do you love authentically when people respond negatively or hurtfully? Why did you expect them to respond anywhere else, friend? Again, it's just the expectation specifically. Like sometimes they will respond negatively, and you to still choose love, to know that you've done what you could, you've done what was expected of you to be the expression of love. You're doing fine. You are already loving authentically just by choosing that love. I was born at 7:06 a.m., which can be interpreted as the devil's time because it would be 6:66. I love 666. Exactly, Kayana. We're the ones creating these meanings, like we're the ones eliciting, assigning meaning to everything. You're the one that creates meaning, friend. Don't let anybody tell you what things mean. You know. I saw a lot of fires yesterday too. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. Wait a second. Sure, sober. Can take it full. I feel you and agree, Mel. I wish there was a norm at weddings. I think that booze is popular because it gets people dancing. It is a social lubricant. I understand that, Isaac. And I'm fortunate enough to be a social individual without it, but I know that that's not the case for a lot of people. I'm pretty good with pacing as well. I don't like feeling drunk at all. Just a nice glass of wine or two, and that should be more than enough. I genuinely believe that, Isaac. And I know you'll be respectful of yourself and of the people around you. It's just again, and I was like, I instantly noticed it. It is seriousness within the ego that was the reason I responded that way. So take it with that, as a filter, as the color glasses that you look at it through. I prefer to love from afar in that case. Me too, Toast. Me too, actually. If people are being hurtful to you or negative towards you, if you try and share love them, but love them from afar. Be like, okay, I'm going to continue loving you, but I'm going to love you all the way from here. You could be there, and I'll love you from here. This. I had prana at a restaurant one time. They were delicious. Truffle, Truffle, you're freaking hilarious, dude. Completely agree with this method. Usually, my natural path is to take those cases, like to take in those cases. You're just super empathetic, Ayana. You know what's necessary, friend. You know that they need love the most, technically. The natural path is lined in strawberry, cough, and northern lights. That does sound nice. I don't think I've had any of those strains though. I missed you, dude. Such a character, right? Like I love you so much, Kayana. Thank you for finding yourself in this space again. I genuinely missed you as well. You know, like Jovan joins us a lot, and then every single time now, like Jovan's energy is very intrinsically attached in my mind to Kayana as well. So every single time I see Jovan, I'm sending you love as well. I've got a lot of stereotypical Irish heavy drinkers in my family, so they take the torch for me. Just like imagine you providing only joints and like tabs of acid to all of your Irish people. It is all like the fuck. Maybe you just serve them water, with like liquid acid diluted in it. Like yeah, now we'll see who got their shit together now, family. Oh, good path. My favorite smoke. It's a concept which we measure. Ooh, God is a concept by which we measure our pain. What an interesting statement that is, Eden. Old Testament God was a God of fear. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And it still technically is, like guilt based. If you don't do these things, you won't earn the eternal heaven. You're like gonna na 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 na. It still technically is fear based. Oh, Bonnie McMurray. Happy Monday to you. Thank you for joining us as well. I didn't say that. Acknowledgement. Your acknowledgement scream self-love and growth to me. All of you friends, scream self-love and growth to me. Thank you. Thank you for loving yourself. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for allowing to be seriously unserious, in this moment. I do have to go because I have a yoga teacher training class that is starting in a few minutes. I love you, friends. Thank you for the helpful pro, Miss Mouse. That's very nice of you, friend. I appreciate you choosing to share love like that. If you're serious about things like standing up against bullying, is that a negative ego response or being bullied yourself and is affecting your own self esteem? Specifically, Anon, I was bullied a lot. A lot, a lot. I think, yeah, I mean, it's all subjective, but I genuinely believe I was bullied the most, at least in my age group, because of the way that I was, you know? And for that reason, convinced myself that I was an alien. And I had these fantasies of being taken away, It was like, oh, aliens are going to come and abduct me, and then I'm going to actually be appreciated. I was like telling myself these stories. But because I went through that, because I got to experience that sense of separation, it forced me to realize my unity, and it's very difficult for me to say that there's anything that's bad. Bullying people absolutely is not acceptable. But me being bullied helped me to grow. So if I could go back in time and unbully myself, would I? Probably not. Probably not. Not saying that we should be bullying, but being able to pay attention to those things as well. Noticing that the reason that those individuals bullied me is because they saw something that was maybe scaring them. They saw something that they didn't want to accept. They saw something that was notifying them that there is something that they can do about it. And instead of doing something about it, they decided not to. And that's okay. It's completely okay. We're all going up the mountain in our own ways. The saddest thing about the abortion issue is by design meant to divide up the lines of controversy, but we can share the space in unity and reject their attempts to divide us. That's the point. That's the point. And I know you know, Dan. If you choose love as opposed to fear, then congratulations, cause you just won 2 tickets to Globama. Fuck! Damn it, he got me. He got me, and I was like, I wanted to tune out, and I didn't tune out just so that freaking Dan can stab me, stab me with the Globama. So much love to you, friends. I love you. I love you with the deepest part of my heart. We're going to change this world. You are already changing this world just by being who you are. Where's my? I was looking for my sandals, and they were on my feet. I feel a little bit out of it. And yet, so here with you, friends. I love you and appreciate you. Love and appreciate yourself. Know that you are worthy of love. Know that the seriousness in our egos of this is the way things are supposed to be. This is the way I'm supposed to be loved. This is what I'm, this is what I expect of reality. Yes, all of those things, sure. But realize that you don't need any of it to be aware. You don't need any of it to be present. You are. You are, and you always will be in this moment. Until the next time we find each other in this moment, friends. I love and appreciate you. I'll see you again tomorrow. You're the best. Love you. No, you. No, you, Fred. Love you so much. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. I notice you, friend. You are literally allowing me to notice love, Diana. So I thank you for that as well. I'll see you, friends, again tomorrow. Goodbye, beloved friends.